Hi, crypto fellow travelers. This is Charles Hoskinson broadcasting live from warm, sunny Colorado. Always warm, always sunny. Sometimes Colorado. It is a poncho weather day. A little cold outside, but not too bad. Yesterday, we had a snowstorm. That was always fun, always enjoyable. But you know what? Actually, it was 2 days ago we had a snowstorm. Yeah, that's the problem. Time flies so quickly. A lot of meetings, a lot of fun things to do, but this week, Cardano 360 was really an incredible episode. They pulled everything together. We kind of showed you everything about the ecosystem, and it just keeps rolling along. Babelfish, Babel transactions. That was one of the birds for this month, and I think it's probably the most important one, because basically what that does is it gives every token issued on Cardano the ability to pay in the native asset if a market is for it. So it solves all the problems at the same time. And U.S. token issuers now have your own network. It used to be that either you had to go borrow another network and pay in that network's fees, or you had to launch your own network and build a network effect behind it. This is the third option. The space currently does not allow that to exist. There are some clever hacks here and there, but for the most part, it's a new thing. It's an elegant thing, and it's a thing that's brought uniquely because of extended UTXO. And that's the magic of doing things correctly. When you do things correctly, it's very easy to just innovate and just add and say, here you go. And what that means is we're probably going to be the ultimate stablecoin platform for all the stablecoins, because you pay the transaction fee in the stablecoin. You don't have to pay $100 of ETH to send $1 of Tether. You know, that's the point. And that's what we've been looking for. And that was just one of many things that came. There was a fund that announced a $750 million position in Polkadot and Cardano, dumping their Bitcoin position. More will come. A lot of great commercial deals in the pipeline, and hopefully we should see some of those February birds land this month or early next month, and you guys will be pleasantly surprised. But that's just the week, the news of the week. And every week here on after, news is being made, and what's most exciting to me is it's news being made as much by you as it is by me and Emergo and the Cardano Foundation. This is a movement, and it's starting to get rolling, whether it be Kim.com or interview with Lex Friedman or all the things that are going to come, or the recent New York Times article that briefly mentioned us, perhaps more to come. Every day we keep chipping away at the dream, and every day the tech keeps waking up. Now we are in the multi-asset era. Next month, your Daedalus wallet, you'll update it, and suddenly you'll see lots of coins in it, lots of tokens that people can issue. You can issue your own. Very simple. The Cardano 360 episode showed you how to do that. Tutorials are coming. Things are coming. It's easy to see that. And that's just March. Glow was announced today. We showed people off some of the cool things there. Updates to the DevNets are coming next month. Lots of cool dApp developments happening. And actually, we're probably going to pull an Elon Musk with how he handled Hyperloop. The other day, I was sitting down reading the peer-to-peer lending protocol that we developed for Marlowe, and I said, you know, we're going to implement this, but it would make a lot more sense to just write a series of DeFi papers, just like Elon wrote the Hyperloop paper, and then give it to the community as challenge problems and see who wants to go and implement those things. There's a core set of them that I think we need to get done internally, and we're working on those, like the stable coins and the DEXs and the oracles and so forth, and a lot of great progress there. But there's much more than just those things. In fact, the Alpha Frontier Suite is going to be a really cool discussion, and you guys are going to hear from Tom. I think it's the first time you've met him. He's a magical, amazing person next month from Runtime Verification. The other thing, there's going to be an announcement about something we're doing for IELE, which I think you guys are going to be incredibly excited about. And it's something I thought would take 3 to 5 years, but might take 4 to 6 months. And that's something we get to talk about next month. And that's March. What's new for April? And that's what great ecosystems do. It's frenetic, the pace. You just keep pushing. You just keep pushing. Regardless of how hard it happens to be, you have to keep up with it. And it's exhausting for me, but I love every minute of it. I really do. And I love how passionate the community has become. And I love how you guys are getting it. It's about the journey. It's about the next step and the next step. It's about progress. We're making great inroads in Africa. We're making great inroads in Mongolia. We're making great inroads in Georgia. We're making great inroads across the globe. I recently met with a major U.S. telecommunications company, and maybe we'll do something with them, maybe not. But the fact we got the meeting and it was taken so seriously tells you where we're at as an ecosystem. And that's February. Where will we be in June? Where will we be in December? Where will you take us? Look at how magical Catalyst has become. We have so many deals in our queue, we can't service them as a company. And Jerry has this horrible situation where he has to figure out, what do I say no to? What do I say yes to? Well, we're right now working on an internal program of how do we translate some of the deals that we can't service or we can't work with into deals that apply for Catalyst funds. And there's some flagship deals that we're going to be pushing that way. And the community then can start working with them, discussing. They can find partners, fellow travelers who can do the development work or perhaps help them with marketing or business development. Catalyst is not a passive process where you vote. Catalyst is a lifestyle. You go in every day, you think about it. In certain cases, you want in on it, and you want to help them get there. And that's the power of an engaged, vigilant community. And this is the strength of Cardano. It's not the technology. Well, of course, we're going to lead. We bought up all the brains. We have the biggest decentralized brain in the world. Dmitry Buterin was throwing some shade the other day, actually today, saying he won't buy into Cardano, won't even consider it because I'm here. Great. I'm so glad you don't like me. And I'm so glad you're so ignorant to ignore all of the other minds that are here, all of the engineers that are here, all the scientists that are here. This is nothing to do with me. Cardano doesn't need Charles. It needs you, the mass, the people. What we've started is the cascading disruption I sought to do. And that's February. 10,000 people in Catalyst. That was another bird this month. The fact that $1 million fund is waking up, and we're probably going to end up funding dozens of projects as a community after thousands of collective hours of debate, of discussion, and hard work. Then they have to do and execute, write code, build things. They say, how will we populate all those dApps? Well, we have them. There's Singularity Net, Liquidity, and dozens of others want us. And dozens more call us every day because we got a lot of momentum now. Some are fair weather, some are serious. It doesn't matter to me. There's a crucible upon which things will be built. And they shall be built. And each and every one of these things belong as much to you as they do to me or anyone else. It's our ecosystem together, and we earned it. There were a lot of hard days when no one cared about us. There were a lot of days when everybody thought that for sure we were on the way out. Our best days were behind us. You know what we did is we said, thank you for your opinion, but we're going to go a different way. Put on our ponchos, got up on our horses, and we got it done. So we're here to stay forever. This is Cardano. And I'd like to thank each and every one of you for making that a reality, because you did. And I'm proud of you. And I'm proud of this ecosystem. And I'm proud that every time we do a show, the show gets better. We were up, I think, 70% in audience this month. A lot of new faces, a lot of new people. And what's amazing is they may come for the gains, but they stay for the vision and the philosophy. We have this amazing ability to convert people little by little to fall in love with the ideas we have and the vision we have as a community about how we want to go change the world. It builds something that's as fair for the least of us as it is for the most of us. And we're making progress, and we'll always make progress. So, as it is an AMA, let's get to your questions, huh? Lord of the Rings or Star Wars? Lord of the Rings, sir. Star Wars is now woke wars. It's been for a while. Although I did like The Mandalorian. The Vision is real. And I was just on Real Vision today. That's coming out next week. You guys are going to like it. Charles, is that a poncho? Yes, sir, it is. Alpaca and from Ecuador. What do you think about Brave? 50 million strong. It's a beautiful product. Read the BAT white paper over the weekend. I really enjoyed it. And I love how they just keep evolving and iterating. It's a wonderful model for advertising and sharing profits with the people who are being advertised to. Is that a real fire behind you? I didn't start the fire. It's always been burning since the world's been turning. Whoa, this is awesome. I thought you didn't read the chat. Well, Jose, I always do. Thoughts on Fortune 500 adopting Cardano? It is inevitable. Thoughts on Korean barbecue? I eat a lot of it, especially when I go to Korea. And I cannot wait to see guys in Seoul. I will be back. Usually I went there every 3 months, but the world shut down. However, the world's going to open again. And I can't wait to go do a world tour. That's going to be fun. Stargate SG-1. Absolutely. Love Stargate. Richard Dean Anderson was a great actor. Charles, did you get your ears lowered? No. Odd question. Meta for K. I'm K for Meta. A special K, said Elon Musk. The same thing that was in the movie Seven. How did you choose the name Cardano? It's named after Girolamo Cardano, who was a 19th century mathematician, contemporary of many amazing people. He was a gambler, a doctor, a mathematician. He was the Dr. Tran of his time. Hickory smoked. Mary had a little fork, little fork, little fork. Oh, this ain't an unfair one. Richard Feynman, by far. I love his artistic side as well. He has these beautiful notes. If you Google Richard Feynman drawings and you take a look at the things that he did, he was a wonderful human being. He means, did you have a haircut? Well, I don't know that term. I don't know that term. Us Americans, we're very uncultured people. What is your favorite feature of Ouroboros Omega? Probably either the self-healing or the instant finality. Could you work with Dot, Charles? Absolutely. I still have to reply to that email. And I think we'll find something cool to work on. You know, it's a small space. We should work together instead of shit post on Twitter about how bad other people are. Just shows you who's stable and who's going to be here in 5 to 10 years and who's not. I have grievances. Things were done and said that were horrible. From 2014 to 2016, people wouldn't reply to my emails, and I was tarred and feathered, persona non grata, invited to nothing. Everybody considered me dead in the water, radioactive. And there are people who are responsible for that. Despite them doing that, I'd still work with them because at the end of the day, I have an ecosystem to run. People work with, things to do, things to accomplish. You set ego aside for the greater good. Past is the past. You can't change it. All you can do is build a better future. And if we can't grow up and evolve, then how can they? How can we say the world's going to be a better place? One of the most poignant things that happened in my life, I visited Rwanda. And you always, when you go to Kigali, the first thing you do when you're going around is you visit the genocide museum that they built, which is also a mass grave. It has about 250,000 people buried there. And it's a really saddening and eye-opening experience. But the thing that amazed me the most was that there was a Tutsi and a Hutu working at the museum. And it turned out that the Hutu had murdered some of the family members, including the wife of the Tutsi. Yet they ate lunch together every day. And it was just an inconceivable thing to me. How can you eat lunch with the person who killed your wife and your kids? And so found out that he has to forgive, because if he doesn't forgive, the kids that survived would live in a world no better than the one he inherited, right? You got to move on, no matter how bad things are. The people who are incapable of that should never have power, because they'll use it to hurt the ones who wrong them. Rwanda is an incredible country, by the way. Amazing people. They came back from so much, and they're now becoming the Switzerland of Africa. A little bit of good, bad, and ugly, but boy, I'm proud and impressed with what I saw when I was there. I'm a Golang open source developer. How can I help Cardano grow? Build some Go tools. Build some things to interface with Cardano. Use the stuff we have and write some Go stuff to make it better, just like Pool Tool. How is IELE going? We are going to have a big IELE update and discussion next month at the Cardano 360. We're going to bring Grigori's team in. They're going to talk about some magic. IELE magic. How do you stay so positive, Charles? Do you believe in the power of thoughts? I absolutely do. You have to stay positive every day. You wake up every day and say, look, it could be worse. Life is not too bad. I'm going to do everything I can do every day to just make it a good day and love the people around you. Rena user group meeting in 5 hours in Okinawa, Japan. Konnichiwa, Okinawa! All hardware deployed in Tokyo for Ouroboros over Rena update coming soon. Thank you, Cardano community, for this opportunity. Well, Jason, thank you so much. I'd love to know about it. If you record it live, tweet it, and I'll retweet it. I'm great to see that Rena is in the hearts and minds of our community in Japan. And we may actually be doing a project in Okinawa. More on that later. Ron Paul and the Revolution, love you, and we love you too. Always will love Ron. People often ask me, yeah, remember any of your bosses? I said, there's only one boss I ever truly loved and cared about and followed the hell and back, and that's Ron Paul. He called me tomorrow, said, quit your job and go do something with me. I'd say, okay, Ron, I'll figure it out. I'll let somebody else run IOHK for a bit. He's the boss, always will be the boss. Thoughts on smart contract certifications for software developers? We are in discussions with the Cardano Foundation about that. We're also looking at creating a software engineering institute specifically for smart contract standards. So I will answer that question later, but it is definitely something I'm aspiring to do this year. Thoughts on the samurai? I got actual samurai armor, like literally right there. I love the Bushido Code, and I read the Hagakure, and I also read the Five Rings, and Miyamoto Musashi is an interesting writer, not a very good one, but an interesting one. The whole philosophy makes sense. You accept that you're going to die, and then you have no fear of death, and you truly embrace this. And they used to have these crazy tests where somebody would shoot an arrow at another samurai, and he's supposed to cut it, and if he misses it, well, you know, goodbye samurai. They still do that in certain places in Japan. They were pretty hardcore, and there was a period of peace, and so they focused on developing culture, and so they had like 100+ years of poetry and art and other such things. There's a lot of romanticization of the samurai. In many cases, they weren't the nicest of people, but you have to admire the discipline. Tupac or Biggie? Tupac. West Side, yo. Are you going to play the Diablo 2 remaster? I keep hearing about it. Maybe, I don't know. Probably don't have the time, but. Have you ever been in a fist fight? Yes, and I got my ass kicked. Do you have any tattoos? None that you can see. Is it true that most of Cardano is owned by the Japanese? I think over 50% of the holdings of ADA are still floating around in Japan somewhere. We have a phenomenal Japanese community. They've been around since the beginning. We absolutely love them. We think they're the best ever. And every time I go to Japan, I try to go everywhere in Japan. We go from Hokkaido all the way down to Okinawa, and there's so much love there. It's truly an amazing nation. I have a tattoo of the symbol of Cardano. Well, tweet it at me and I'll retweet it. Breaking Bad, one of the greatest shows ever made. Is intellectual property legitimate? For hardware and perhaps drugs and things like that, I can imagine that. But for software and tangible things, it does bother me a great deal. I don't think software patents are the way to go. I don't think protocol patents are the way to go, especially for open source ecosystems. And if you're cryptocurrency and you have patented IP for that cryptocurrency, I don't even pay attention. It's like Westworld, where they say it doesn't look like anything to me. I have something in my brain that doesn't allow me to even think about it. Have you ever considered Egypt or North Africa for Cardano development? Absolutely. We actually have several Egyptian community members, and there's a lot of wonderful countries in Northern Africa. I have some friends in Morocco and Marrakesh, and it would be really cool to actually do something there. Japanese whiskey. Yes, sir. Hibiki is the way to go. How far can you recite the Fibonacci sequence? As far as you guys want to go. The thing about Fibonacci is that it's computable, right? 1, 1, 2, 3, fourth, and so forth. So we just keep computing and computing. It's not as impressive as reciting pi, because pi you have to remember it. You can't really compute it in your head. If you can, you're a pretty bright guy. Shout out to my city, Salford. Hello, warm and sunny Salford. Have you ever been to Vancouver? Not only have I been to Vancouver, I did a presentation at the ETC Summit there wearing a Canadian flag draped over me while drinking maple syrup, and it's on video. Did your bird fly in the wrong direction? No, it got some headwinds. It'll get there. Welcome to Cardano. First thing you learn is a little bit of patience, and it pays off. Notice it is. Have you been to Norway? My parents, my grandmother, my great-grandmother on my dad's side, so my paternal great-grandmother, immigrated from Norway. And they were the Steen family. And I've been all through the fjords. I've been to Tromsø, hanging out with the Sami people, chasing the northern lights, dog sledding, done all those Norwegian things. Love Lefse. Palestinian and former Utah resident. Love the poncho and the cowboy hat. Well, thank you so much, Crypto00. Boneless or bone-in. Depends on the woman. Do you think selling goods on physical services and goods, these types of things on Cardano is a good use case? I absolutely do believe so, and I would love to see you guys take Open Bazaar as a challenge on idea scale for Catalyst and actually go and build the damn thing. Let's get a marketplace in Cardano. Come on, community, do it. You guys can do it. The money's there. Talent's there. Golang guy, If you want an open source project, I think there's a Go implementation of OpenBazaar. Go see that and see if you can get working with Cardano. Let's get it done. Why not? Can you tell us anything about the self-healing feature of Ouroboros Omega? There is a IOHK paper. Read Consensus Redux. How come I do these live videos? I do it because you guys watch. We have over 4,000 people concurrently watching. How about that? Have you ever been to Brazil? I have. Sao Paulo, Rio de Janeiro. It's one of the few places I've went in my life. When I was on the beach, a woman came up to me and asked me out. Not exactly a bastion of sexual energy. So I was very happy about that. Brazil is a good place. Good food. Have you ever been to Zurich, Switzerland? Welcome, newcomer, fellow traveler. I used to live in Zug. Can you tell us the story of what happened in 2014 to 2016? One of these days I'll write a book. Suffice to say, after Ethereum, the people who won that fight didn't like me too much, and they said a lot of stuff. And people assumed it was true, and so no one wanted to talk to me. Favorite car ever? In terms of positive, good memories, my Ford Taurus I had when I was 16 was probably my favorite car. The ledger combiners paper broke my brain. So take that, Consensus Redux, what we've done with Chronos, what we've done with Genesis, wrap it together with some sharding magic, and you got Omega, yo. You got Omega. Science, bitch. Which vitamins are you taking regularly? Vitamin D, D3 with K2 in in coconut oil. Got to suspend it something for bioavailability. How about University of Connecticut? We actually have a relationship with University of Connecticut. Justin, Alex Russell, one of the authors on the original Ouroboros paper, who continues to write great papers with us, is a professor at University of Connecticut. And we continue writing with him. He's a brilliant guy. He went to MIT. Actually, I'm reading a book on computation right now, and he's cited in the book in the acknowledgments. I was like, is that you, Alex? It's like, yeah, that was my advisor. It's like, small world. Small world. Favorite film director? Living is Danny Villeneuve. Dead is Stanley Kubrick. What is your favorite guilty pleasure? Your biggest guilty pleasure? Well, Jensen, it's a chocolate massage. Sunny, Charles, it's my birthday. Well, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sunny. Welcome to Cardano. And many more. What is your favorite method for studying? I need help. Zettelkasten, the Slipbox note-taking system. SQ3R is pretty good too. Just depends on the content. What are you studying? What are you doing? Copywriting coming. For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow. Is that even true, that whole birthday thing? What's the real reason for you leaving the Eth Project? I liked Coke. They liked Pepsi. What is the most valuable lesson you've learned? Have empathy for people. That's it. Just that simple. The minute you begin loving others and having empathy for people, your life gets so much better. Call people out on their bullshit, hold them accountable for the things they say and do, but never hate them. Hating people is like taking poison and hoping they get sick. Is the picture with you and hookers in Las Vegas real? First you're referring to the picture of me and Rachel Siegel, who's also known as Crypto Finally. And of course, I've been friends with Rachel for many years. She's come to many of the conferences, and we always spend time together every time we see each other. We've done podcasts together and so forth. If all you got is a picture of me hanging out with an old friend at 3 o'clock in the morning in the Cosmo, yeah, congratulations. I got some land to sell you too. People love taking a moment and making the moment everything. Who is your favorite G.I. Joe figure? Ooh, the Cobra Commander. That's pretty good. Are you a stable nut job? Yeah. Thoughts on decentralized voting? Obviously, we kind of like it because we're doing it. Where do you get your ponchos? There's the Poncho Emporium. There's Ponchos R Us. There's the Poncho Warehouse off 3rd and Poncho. Actually, that's on Poncho Street. I've become Scorpio. Have you ever been to New Zealand, Charles? Yep. I've been to both North Island and South Island, and we have a Kiwi who likes us, Kim.com. A shout out to you, Kim. Thank you so much for the love. We love you too. Bring Mega to Cardano. Find a way to do it. Come on, let's do it. Decentralized storage is sexy. Why the fuck should Filecoin have all the fun? Do an interesting project on Cardano. Catalyst will love you, man. Are you into modular synths and analog music? Absolutely. Not only that, I really love the floppy drive music, where they take the old floppy drives and hard drives and they program them to play shit. It's amazing. Hi, Charles. Any plans for Cardano Applied Utility in Romania? We actually have 2 Romanians, Mihaela and Grigori, that we regularly work with on a regular basis. We have a lot of great relationships there. It's a beautiful country. I love going to that country. And I will make sure when we do the world tour post-COVID, I visit Romania. Have you ever been to the Netherlands? Absolutely. Love Amsterdam. They have good waffles, and you know where to buy them. Boxing or MMA? If it's Tyson, boxing, otherwise MMA. Charles, any plans for the ITN? You guys took a vote on it. Not doing anything with it. You look British. I think you're a bit British, but the problem is that you just don't have the accent down. You savvy? Have you ever been to Denmark? I have. The SEC is investigating Elon Musk. We call that Tuesday. He has a unique relationship with them. Have you ever watched anime? So yeah, which one? I have no idea what you're talking about, Samurai Jack. I'm going to go full metal on your Alchemist and then sail all the way to the moon. Don't you Naruto your way out of it. You look like a ginger Mexican. I am king of the rats. Best videos to learn about Cardano. Subscribe to the IOHK YouTube channel. There are hundreds of videos there. We're always making introductory content. We will be creating some courses as well and put them as YouTube playlists. Oi, I'm British. Oi, you British? It's actually my Scottish accent that's really good. Yeah, you know, I can go to Edinburgh and everybody knows me. That's Charles over there. Yeah, he's the drunk one without the pants. We know that man. He's in the pubic triangle, he is. Do you like Germany? Oh, I love landing in Frankfurt or Munich and then flying somewhere else. No, Germany's a great place. I have some very fond memories in Berlin. Have you ever been to Belgium? Of course I've been to Belgium. This is a country that literally makes amazing chocolate and amazing waffles. I love chocolate. I love waffles. You put them together, you know what you got? You got Belgium. I know there's more than that. There's culture and history and all that shit. I don't give a fuck. I like the waffles. I like the chocolate. Chocolate waffle. That's the way to go. So yes, I've been to Belgium. It's amazing. I've been to New Zealand, South Island, North Island. I hung out with the kakapos. I saw the kiwis. I saw the skeletons of the Hast eagle and said, thank God you got rid of those things by clubbing all those moai birds to death. How is the relationship with Ben Gortzel? It is great. We love Ben, and he loves us. We have a good relationship. I think they're applying for some catalyst funds, and when they do, I will be the first to push for it. I think they earned it. They deserve it, and we as a community should support them. They're brilliant people. Favorite curse word, malaka, by far. It has a story. You have to explain it. It's just there. It's just good. It's the right amount of, the right amount of that guy's fucking bastard that you can do. There's some other swear words that are very powerful, but that's a very unique Greek one. And I have integrated it into my vocabulary. Is Jack trolling the Cardano community? Here's what's going to happen. Either I get that blue check mark or I'm going to build a new Twitter. that's where we're at in the relationship. I mean, come on, man. Come on. Jack. Come on. Don't get me started with this. It doesn't bother me as a person, but he's fully aware that every day we have giveaway scams, we have impersonations. There are literally millions of dollars in our industry that have been stolen. Every other major project founder has a blue check mark. I need one because then people can distinguish between my accounts and impersonation accounts attempting to steal things from people. Twitter is aware of this. They don't care. And the fact that they don't care tells me that either they're bad people or there's some fundamental tragic immorality that has percolated throughout their entire system. They know who I am. They know I'm the Charles Hoskins, and Jack actually follows me on Twitter. Doesn't follow a lot of people. He has millions of followers. He follows me. He's PM'd me before, okay? It's either personal or something. I don't know what's in their organization, why they do what they do. We told them directly, tell us what the standard is. Tell us what to do. If you want a copy of my passport, I'll send it. If you want me to fly to the Twitter offices and log in front of you, I'll do it. It's easy for me to fly to California. I want to do this to protect my community. And you know what? They just don't care. Nor does YouTube care as a profit from giveaway scams. Nor do any of these other actors care. They're apathetic because they're monopolies. And when you have oligarchies and monopolies, you get fucked. We get fucked. and they get rich. And that's why crypto exists, to rebalance those scales. Is Haskell a must to develop on Cardano? Absolutely not. You can write on Cardano in many different languages, and actually you're going to be pleasantly surprised about how many. We'll save that for March. Why does Daedalus destroy my MacBook battery? Yeah, don't get me started about that. What is your opinion on algorithmic trading? Does it add value, or are they parasites? It adds value because it makes the markets more efficient. That bid-ask spread tightens with algorithmic trading. And their arbitrage gain is your efficiency. Guns N' Roses or AC/DC? Well, because I know Matt Sorum, I've had dinner with him, I have to say Guns N' Roses. Come on. Tell me something about Wittgenstein. Well, yeah, depends on color and space, yeah. I think he was friends with G.H. Hardy, if I recall correctly. I'm going to steal your poncho. You can buy it on Amazon for $40. Do you prefer cats or dogs? I love dogs. My D&D party is facing a beholder next week and a tips. We're going to answer this one in Southern because you really do need to have that kind of accent if you're going up against such a leviathan of a creature. My recommendation is kill it with nature, you see. You know, if it's in a cave, find a way to collapse the cave on the beholder. You did this in the original Eye of the Beholder with a little magic wand that you would find on level 12. Yeah, it was always level 12, I believe. The dwarf level was my favorite. Legends of Valor update, please. I will do a dedicated episode when there is time. I had to put that whole thing on hold, unfortunately, because Legends of Valor is just not a priority, and right now Cardano is. What was your childhood nickname? Well, Password Bandit 123. It was Cheesy. So I always had a cheesy grin. Soccer. Oh, Legends of Dragoon. No, I was just moved too quickly. Damn it. The question was, I don't know anything about Legends of Dragoon, but the question was soccer or football. Soccer now. Used to be football. But the NFL, yeah. Blech. Although I am a Tom Brady fan. Favorite video game, Arcanum. Would you clone your dog? I recently had this discussion, and I would do that, yes. Choose another profession. Okay, systems theorist. How about that? Do some chaos theory shit. Thoughts on Zuckerberg? He's a pretty good android. Big office for a big brain. Got to have a big office. This is a good one. I've explained it many times, but many of you are new, so let's talk about it. Face diaper. I like your Twitter homepage picture. Many people confuse it. So that is King Edward's funeral. It happened, I think, around 1910, give or take, and he was related to most of the monarchs of Europe. So when he died, they had a full state funeral, and almost everybody showed up. And they took that beautiful picture, all these powerful kings, and all those kings controlled collectively a third of the world and half of the world's money and military. Think about that. And for hundreds of years, that was the case. Europe was king. And just 10 years later, in the aftermath of World War I, most of them were depowered and dethroned. They no longer had the same clout that they had before. So there was this notion of impermanence and sustainability and power and awe behind these institutions. And little did they know that the social sinkhole effect was underway. So a sinkhole does not grow from the top down. It grows from the bottom up. And so what does that mean? You're driving over the same road every day, back and forth, and unbeknownst to you, little by little, eventually that road gets so weak that the car falls through, and it reveals this huge hole. And societies are exactly the same way. For over 100 years, those European societies were decaying. But the monarchs at the top, they couldn't imagine that an event would occur that would remove them from power and replace them so quickly. And that picture is both a warning and hope, because the things that are bad can change quickly, but yet the things that are good can too. And there's no guarantee they're going to be replaced with better things, as we learned in the history of Europe. Bears or otters? Oh, that's so hard. I love them both. It's an unbearable choice. But bear with me. I'll think about it. God damn it. Now I have to change my luggage. Big Pay. Charles, the podcast we did is incredible. Thanks for coming on. Big, you're a money horse. Stop putting so many ads on your show. Like, I didn't get any because I think it's YouTube Red, but my God, man, like every 3 minutes ads. Next time I come on, the deal is it has to not be monetized, so there's no ads in the episode. I don't want people every 3 minutes have to have ads, or else you're coming on my channel and I don't have ads. So, yeah. Always going to give you shit when you do something like that. I know you're ignoring me, Charles. Ha ha. Well, this was your one chance to talk to me and ask me a question. And you just did that, didn't you? Are you a robot? Well, Luke Skywalker, this statement is a lie. Do you have super cow powers? No, but I won the secret cow level. Did you beat the secret cow level? No, you did not. How was the Cardano logo decided? It was designed from a gyrocycloid. It's a lovely animation that Emergo has on their Twitter feed. How are you 33? Laughing my ass off. I ask myself that every day. I used to be young and spry and youthful, filled with life. Now I'm an old curmudgeon. Your favorite movie? Depends on the day. But usually there will be blood. Eli, boy. Have you ever been to Southeast Asia? I've been all throughout Southeast Asia. Trip shroomies with me? No, thank you. Favorite sport to play? That was judo back in the day. Judo. Is there a country you would like to visit? I would love to visit the continent of Antarctica. It'd be a lot of fun. The link will be in the description of the video, and here on out, every video description. I forgot to do it in this title, but I think I can edit the title. I now have a stake pool, courtesy of me and Samuel Leathers. So Sam and I, for a long time, wanted to do a stake pool together because we've been talking about hardware. So I'm a big fan of RISC-V, Risky Business. So there are instruction sets for computer processors. So CISC is the one for Intel and AMD, and RISC is the one for ARM processors, which is what's likely in your phone, and it's also on low-powered devices and increasingly in enterprise use cases. Both of them are proprietary instruction sets, but there's an open source, open instruction set, which is very simple, called RISC-V, and they're starting to build hardware on RISC-V that it actually recently cost. So we're batting around the idea of a RISC-V board with an SEL4 microkernel, which is a verified microkernel, with Qubes OS as a reference stake pool device. You can make these things very powered, like 16 gigs of DDR4 RAM and NVMe drives and Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.1 Okay, with Cubes OS and SCL4, if you design that right and do the crypto right and put a nitro key into that, bueno. This is good, very good. So I'm getting into the whole, like, let's run a stake pool thing. So Sam and I over the week, we set a stake pool, running some of it on a Raspberry Pi, and I called my pool Rats. So if you delegate to my high fee pool, which I wanted to pick a high fee because, stake pool operators are people, and maybe it encourages people to delegate to higher fee pools, especially small pool operators. It's not a race to the bottom. People make other considerations. And 100% of the funds that I earn from my share of it go to my shenanigans. So the more people who delegate, the crazier the shenanigans will be. So if you want to see me doing crazy shenanigans around the world, I will spend the money from the Rats pool that I earn with my hard-earned block making as king of the Rats on shenanigans. And of course, Sam, I think, is going to buy some land out in Pennsylvania. So this is the Save the Charles and the Sam Fund. So delegate to Rats, pool ticker RATS, if you so choose, or to other small pool operators. Favorite film in the MCU, Avengers, Infinity War. Damn good film. Charles, why do the Ethereum communities seem so mad at you? Sour grapes. Again, they have hate, and that's why they fail. You must have love. Lots and lots of love. That's all we got in our community. If they want to come on in, love them. But they're filled with hates. Charles, did they inject you with fetal tissue for your anti-aging treatment in Florida? Nope. No ground up babies. Sorry. Try again. Have you read The Creature from Jekyll Island? I have. The Federal Reserve has a dark and terrible history. But it comes with a free yogurt, which I like to call Frogurt. And it has potassium benzoate. That's bad. Which I like to call Frogurt. Okay. Ba-da-ba-da. Charles, I'm an Ethereum maxi, but I'm full of love. I think Consensus and Ernst & Young's baseline protocol is doing great things for Ethereum. Please convert me on the Cardano-Ethereum relationship. Well, Curtis, thank you so much for taking the time. The issue here is that the Ethereum community, some of them, a lot of them, have taken the position that because I was the creator of Cardano, that every single thing we have done and contributed is a scam. It's meaningless. They've said things like shitcoin, ghost chain, even though we move as much value, if not more, than Bitcoin. They've said no use in utility. None of the technology matters, even though we were first to proof of stake, and Polkadot copied our proof of stake algorithm. It belies reason. We were the first project to pay for and work with the formalization of the Ethereum virtual machine, the KEVM. Did you know that? It wasn't Vitalik, didn't do his homework, but Grigori did. And there are numerous things we could have done, cooperated on, worked about, but instead it was just tar and feather and shit on. Again and again and again and again and again. And you guys have massive transaction fees. We don't and never will because we have a plan to get through that. I'm happy to work with anybody. If Consensus called us up tomorrow, so let's do something together. I say, sure. No problem at all. It doesn't bother me because it makes the space richer and better. What doesn't make the space richer and better is because I didn't get along for some venture I worked at for 6 months with some group of people. 7 of the 8 of them are gone now. that now every single thing that a million people do in the Cardano space, the 95 papers we've written, the million lines of code we've written, are wrong, immoral, unjustified, or a scam. That's stupidity. And all it is self-harm. What do we bring to the space? Well, we bring rigor. We bring formal methods, including certified smart contracts that work right always and in the first time. We bring a formalization of the science in a way that ensures that we're all building on bedrock, not quicksand. We bring the academic world, dozens of academic partners, 4 university labs, and all of that science is patent-free and open source and usable by your project. Your peers, and some of them do use this stuff, have used this stuff. The ones who don't, well, maybe it's just spite. Who knows? And the longer we're in business, the longer we exist, the more millions of people we bring in to the cryptocurrency space, many of which were the first cryptocurrency, like Bitcoin was their first cryptocurrency. The more papers we write, the more code we write, and all of it you get to use for whatever product and project you desire. But yet we're bad actors. What exactly was the grievous sin of Cardano? The audacity that it exists? The fact that the founder, in your view, is a horrible human being? For what exactly? Because I didn't get along with people and they didn't get along with me? Let's write some bad books about it. Let's tar and feather. Hate, 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 hate. Meanwhile, the ecosystem built on love is looking at blue skies. It keeps growing. The slow way is the fast way, my friend. Never forget that. And as always, as we come to a close on the hour, I promised that we would do a peer-to-peer loan. Unfortunately, we don't have that power, so we'll have to use Kiva until we have a peer-to-peer lending system on Cardano. So let's see who the lucky winner is today. And I will share my screen. How about that? Okay. Share. Share screen. There we go. Okay. Whoa, that's crazy. All right. Today's lucky winner is Sopiek. And let's read her story. Sop is a 21-year-old married and is a mother of 1 child. She and her husband are in the fishing business. She's been running this business for 4 years. She's looking for a 2 million KHR loan through Kiva's field partner. And she wants to buy fish, a boat, and other fishing materials to support her business using a loan. She'll be able to earn more income to continue her business as well as support her family's living standards. She hopes that she can grow her business, renovate her home, and send her child to school. That is really cool. And she is from Cambodia, for any of you who are. So she needs, it appears to be $300 to make that happen. Whoa, those are small increments. Let's hide that. Not sure why we can't do the whole thing. Oh, it's $200 to go. Lend now. There we go. All right, so I'll kill the screen share while I log in, and let's give her some money. Do. And I cannot wait to see a peer-to-peer lending system for microfinance on Cardano. This is a life goal of mine. It really is. You know, we're going to get it done. I don't care what we have to do. And if you do have connections to Kiva, let them know I'm doing this, and I'd like to talk to the Kiva organization. It'd be a lot of fun to find a partnership with them. I think they're one of the coolest things, and they're one of the reasons that inspired me to become a cryptocurrency entrepreneur. I even mentioned them in my TED Talk years ago. Seems like a lifetime ago. Okay, let's see here. Share screen. And there we go. She is completely funded. Let's take a look at the profile. All right, so that was Antonio from last time. Mañana from Peru. He was a cacao farmer. And, of course, Rosa from Kenya. And now we have Sopiek from Cambodia. How about that? Nice little balance. Well, thank you, everyone. This was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, I don't have more time. Got some work to do tonight. Got some deals to do tonight. Going to be a long weekend. But It was a lot of fun. I enjoy each and every one of you. Remember to have empathy. Remember to build. And Cardano's just getting started. It's February. I cannot wait to